Hello, good evening. Welcome. This is the question and answer session for our data analytics bootcamps that we are running across England and in Ireland, starting on the 12th of February. And one comment already. Hi, Victor. Happy New Year to you too. So this is an open space. I am live. My name is Bernard. I am one of the admissions managers with Generation UK and Ireland. And I am looking after this bootcamp at this moment in time. So I'm your main point of contact. So this is an open space. I will see questions as they come in, and I see some more Happy New Year's and good evenings. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, open space. If you have any particular questions about this bootcamp, being the admissions process or the bootcamp itself, or anything else to do with Generation, I'm here and I'm open to answer questions. If we don't have any questions, I'm just going to summarize the program information again and kind of the upcoming dates and talk about the application process a little bit. And I expect that we will be here for about 30 minutes in total. So yeah, more people wishing Happy New Year's, have more people wishing good evening. Love to see everybody present and active in the chat. Thank you all very much. What I might do is I'm going to skip forward a little bit in the slide deck, and this is just the same slide deck that I used during the taster session, the information session that I did back in December, but that was a long time ago, and I want to go through this info again and make sure that everybody stays current and abreast of the info. So Victor, you've got a good question here, and it kind of leads on to the first bit of info that I want to share. And sorry, I'm just playing around with my lights a little bit to make sure that you can see me. So this bootcamp starts on the 12th of February, and it lasts for 11 weeks. So if we look at our calendar, 12th of February is a Monday, and it is 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks from now. So the bootcamp starts on the 12th. We have 2 weeks of inductions before any of our bootcamps start. And during those 2 weeks, you will have 1 or 2 whole class sessions where you, for an hour or 2 hours, where you meet your classmates, you meet your instructors, you meet your mentor, your learning manager. You might meet your mentor once during that period. You might meet your instructor. There's a couple of small onboarding bits, and those 2 weeks also give us time to send you a refurbished laptop or a Wi-Fi dongle if you need it. So then we send out the offers on the Friday before those 2 weeks start. So for this bootcamp, that would be Friday, the 26th of January. So that is Friday, 2 weeks from now. So this Friday, 2 weeks later. There are a good number of steps to complete in your application process. And I'm just going to skip forward to slides at the end, which talk about the steps. And there are people on this call that are on all of the different steps of the project, of the application. So please don't be stressed if you're only at the beginning. And apologies, these are a little bit out of order. So you sign up, you fill in your details, you check your eligibility, and if you pass that, that means that you should be eligible for the program. Then there is a aptitude assessment. That is the logic task, which is a timed series of questions that test your logic, and the eligibility documents, which proves your eligibility for the program. And I might talk a little bit about what the eligibility steps or the eligibility criteria are in a moment. There is the Python task, which is 10 questions, multiple choice about Python. Please don't be nervous if you don't have experience with this language before. There's information on the welcome page of the test. And then you do your higher view, which is a video interview, but instead of it being live on Zoom or Google Meet, it is pre-recorded questions, and then you record your answers, and we will go back and watch those. And then there is a group task. So please sign up for a group task. This is the bit of your application that is live and needs to happen live with me or one of my colleagues. If you have not signed up for a group task yet, please do that as soon as possible. There are spaces open right now. And if you have not signed up for one, then your application is not finished. And you need to complete a group task in order to be considered eligible for the program. If I'll give you an email address right now to email if there is any problem with your application. So the group task is live. It lasts about 30 minutes on Zoom, and it will be with me or one of my colleagues, and you will solve a problem together or collaboratively. And then finally, the mentor conversation. So if you pass through the group task and your higher view has been reviewed and everything is good, you'll be passed through to the final step, which is a mentor call, which is a 20-minute one-to-one call with one of our mentors just to check in and see if there's any additional ways we can support you. And then once everybody has passed that stage, we will do our class selection with the learning manager and safeguarding manager and so on. That'll be around Wednesday, the 24th of January. Then the offers will go out on the 26th. So I'm going to go back into the questions, but finally, I'm just going to pop, before I do that, I'm just going to pop on the screen. I think it is this slide. At the bottom of this slide, you can see an email address, which is dataanalyticsprogram@generation.org. If you have any particular questions, please email this inbox and one of my colleagues will get back to you. So just looking at the questions. So BP4917, you ask how many spaces are on the cohort. So this is a multiple cohort bootcamp. So there is one classroom for Ireland, and then there will be 2 classrooms for England. And I think I showed on a slide prior about where the different parts of England that we take from. But so there will be, every classroom is about 25 to 27 people, which means that in Ireland, we will have 25 to 27 people. And in England, we will have about 50 people for these bootcamps at this time. Nadia, you have a question about if you start a different government-funded course, are you allowed to defer onto this program? So this bootcamp is sponsored. One of the funders for this program is the Department for Education in the UK. So this is UK-specific information. In Ireland, we are funded differently. We're a charity in both countries, but our funding sources are different between Ireland and England and Scotland. So in Ireland, this doesn't apply. In England, we are part funded by the Department for Education, which means that there are some criteria around who is eligible for the program. And one of the eligibilities is that you need to, or you're only allowed to do one skills bootcamp per funding year. And that funding year usually starts in April every year. So Nadia, it could be worth sending an email to the inbox because I'm not full sure what other course you did or when you did it or what you mean by deferral process. So maybe send a quick email to the inbox with a bit more information about what you did and when you graduated or when you would graduate, and we can check to make sure that you'd be eligible and that the deferral would work. Katrini, you've got a question. Hi again. I think you were on a group task the other day. Good to see you again. You did the logic task this morning, and since then your progress is blocked at this stage. Is this normal? I will, while we're talking in the background, I will have a quick look at your application, Katrini, and see if I can see what the issue is. But I'm going to move on to another question, and I'll keep looking for your application in the background, Katrini. BP, again, you said you completed the January cohort application, didn't get through to the final. Do you need to repeat all the tasks? No, you don't. So if you have Bhavin. Hi, Bhavin. If you have applied for one of our previous bootcamps recently enough, then you do not need to complete all of the same tasks because our data analytics applications are the same between different times that we run it. So if you applied for January, that was only sorry, the one that started today, January the 8th, that was only 1 or 2 months ago that you did your application. So you won't need to like fill in your details, do the group task, do the interview, or any of those bits again. You may need to do your mentor call again just to see if there's anything new, but all is good. Bhavin, would you please, I'm sorry that this is like the solution for a lot of people, but would you please send an email to the inbox just saying that you definitely want to have your application considered again for the upcoming bootcamp, and that'll be fantastic. Darren, you ask, will you get paid for this period? So you won't get like a salary from us because this is a skills training. It's not like a job. But we do, if you look at the bottom piece of this, if you are receiving any benefits at the moment, so if you're receiving like universal credit or I think some other ones such as carers allowance or disability allowance, anything from the JCP or the is it the DSP, I think, in the UK, or in Ireland, if you are receiving any benefits from like Intrio or from the Department of Social Protection, you can continue to receive these benefits. So in the UK, that looks like if you are successful, I would issue you a letter and you would share that with your work coach or with your JCP. And then you can continue to receive your benefits, and they should also change the schedule of when you need to meet them so it doesn't clash with class times. In Ireland, Intrio are a little bit more strict about who can continue to receive funding. There's a little bit of paperwork that you need to fill in, but we will help you fill it in. If you check the program page on our website, there's information about that. Cool. Isaac, you have a question about you can't complete forms to the final stage. Sorry about that, Isaac. Let me see if... are you here? Please, Isaac, could you please, because I don't want to like pull up your application in front of everybody, could you please, that exact question that you're asking, could you please give a little bit of context and maybe a screenshot and send it to the data analytics inbox? That'd be great, and we would love to make sure that we can solve that problem for you. And Katrini, I wasn't able to pull up your application in the background, so please could you just send a message to that inbox, and my colleague will get back to you. Danish, this is a really good question about like, does more experience or education help you or hinder you in your application? So having a MSc in data analytics doesn't necessarily make you ineligible. However, I would like question, I suppose, are you going to be bored while you're on the program? Because so this bootcamp kind of assumes that somebody has been working in maybe in a different industry, or has been working like low level in data or low level in tech, or hasn't been working for a while. But you're really interested in data, you're really interested in DA, you want to get a career in this industry. And so we teach you the fundamentals of data analytics enough that you can get your starter role and then help you find employment in that sector. So having an MSc in data analytics, depending on how recent it was, or like where you took it, or like whether in the UK or Ireland or in a completely different part of the world, or how you did in it, that sort of thing could be of relevance. What we do, since we are a charity and we want to help people who are currently unemployed or underemployed who maybe have struggled to find work in the industry that they really want to get to. One of the questions in the HireVue interview asks like, why are you interested in this bootcamp? Why are you interested in this sector? And have there been any barriers between you and starting your career in the sector? And this could be a good place for you to say, actually, I have a degree in this, but I've struggled to find work for reasons 1, 2, and 3. And that can kind of explain to us any barriers you might have and how this bootcamp would help you. Because otherwise we want to make sure that we're not duplicating information or just giving you info that you already know for 11 weeks. Shiru, you've got an you ask about your application being under review. Don't worry, this is normal. This just means that we need to go back and review your interview, your HireVue. Once that's been reviewed, you will be passed through. And sorry, just go back. Sorry, that's been taken a little bit longer than it should. It is on my to-do list this evening after I finish this live stream to open up the mentor call booking page and to pass some people through first thing tomorrow morning to be able to book into mentor calls. Those are starting on Wednesday. Victor, your group task didn't take you to any link where you could speak with a tutor. I think you might have pressed the wrong button. This is maybe the case. So please, again, if you think that something is wrong in your portal, and I know that the portal is sometimes a little bit buggy where like it doesn't load properly, please, if you have any problem ever, please just send an email to the data analytics inbox. Thanks, Victor. Sindhuja, when you know the results after group discussion. So kind of the same as Shiru. Once you've done the group task, then we need to go back and manually review the HireVues. It takes about a week between us finishing a group task to watch a HireVue and pass you through to the next step. So please hold on. We will get around to them. Iwa, you say you weren't able to add all the documents required to confirm employment status. You just added 1 out of 2. Now you can't go back to the website. Yes, you can send via email. Maybe first just mention the problem, and then once you get a reply, you can send the actual document. I will answer a couple more questions, and then I might talk a little bit about program eligibility, and then I'll go back to the questions. Maya, really good question here about exam at the end of the bootcamp and what happens if you don't pass. So I think I do have some info about the bootcamp curriculum. Yeah, so this is a quick overview of so this is a quick overview of like the curriculum design, and then there's some info about the curriculum, and then there's some info about the exam. So the bootcamps are designed to get you from where you are today, either unemployed or underemployed or struggling to find work, through to in a place where you are fully ready for employment as quickly as possibly. For DA, this is 11 weeks is what we've assessed, and during those 11 weeks, we touch on all of these things to upskill you to be employable and fully capable of the technical skills for this role. We touch on the behaviors, the mindsets, and the technical skills. What this looks like in practice across these 11 weeks is weeks 1 to 4 is working on the fundamentals, and you work on 2 unit assessments. Weeks 5 to 7, you have 4, and then in weeks 8 to 11, there is a final group project. So that's kind of and those are the internals. That's continuous assessment, and that's internally. And those assessments are making sure that you are staying abreast of your work and that you are like consolidating your work. In addition to that, we will fund you to take this course, which is the Microsoft Power Platform Fundamentals. So we will cover the cost of you taking this exam at the end of your program, and we'll also have taught you everything that you need to ace this exam. And we'll taught you all the content. What happens if you don't pass? I believe that we may help you sit it twice, but I'm not 100% sure. I apologize. That's not something that I usually am privy to, because that happens on the other end of the bootcamp. I'm just in the admissions. But I can say that we won't put you forward for the exam if you're not ready. If you're not ready at the end of the bootcamp, we will keep helping you in your upskilling, and we will keep helping you in your prep until you and we feel that you are ready to sit the exam. So there really is only a tiny chance that you wouldn't pass, because we will upskill you for this, we will get you ready for it, and we will make sure that you feel confident that you can pass. Alan, yes. Connection with employers based on overall skill set or just on completion of the course. So if you have completed the course, if you manage to stay with us, it means that you will have, because it's continuous assessment, it means that you will know all of this information. And it means that you will be competent and confident in all of this. And so that means that after you complete the course, the connections with employers will be shared with the entire classroom. So it's not going to be based on, we're not going to rank the learners and only share with employers the top ones, because that's not fair. That's not, I don't know, that's just not what we do. If one of our partnerships team, that's the employment team, find a role or find from an employer's a role that an employer says that they would like to hire one of our graduates, we will share that role with the whole class. Everyone in the class can have a look at the role, and based on are you happy with where it's based? Are you happy with the salary? Are you happy with the job title? You can put yourself forward to interview for it or not. Sad, you say you finished the majority of the application, you have the Python test, but you want to ask, sorry, two-part question. Still waiting for your P45. You sent email of resignation as proof. Yes, sure, that is correct. If you've uploaded the email of resignation as proof, potentially one of my colleagues, Dan or Yasmin, will reach out to you just to check on that. If they assess your document before you get your P45. But in that case, just email them and tell them when you expect to receive it, and that should be fine. Victor, coming from a no maths background, a hindrance? Not necessarily, as long as you can prove that you are interested in the sector and that you are spending time upskilling at the moment. So if you can give examples of projects you're currently working on or ways in which you are learning or upskilling in data, then that is perfectly fine. Cool. Hastrup, yes, I have received your email. I thought I might have replied to it already. Apologies if I haven't. Yeah, I thought, apologies, I thought I'd already replied to your email this morning. That is okay, you missed the call. I should have sent you a link to book into a new group task tomorrow or on Wednesday or Friday. If you want to go check your email, I should have gotten back to you already. Hi, Ketsumetsi. Booked in for a group task tomorrow at 11. Any advice? Please don't be nervous. You don't need to prepare anything in advance. It's going to be a Zoom call. There's going to be a couple of other people there, somewhere between 3 and 6 other people. I will be on the call as well. And first I'll talk about where you are in the application stage. Then we will do a task. It'll take 15 minutes. And hopefully it will be a bit of fun. I will be there the whole time, but I'll turn off my mic and just listen. You will solve a problem collaboratively with other people on the call, and the goal is to assess your soft skills or your transferable skills. So your your problem solving, your communication, your teamwork, creative thinking, prioritization, that sort of thing, which are really important for the data field. Please don't be nervous. You don't need to prepare anything. Just bring yourself. Maybe have a cup of tea or coffee beforehand and be somewhere where you are comfy. Cool. You're still waiting for your GNIB and PPS. I would encourage you to apply, even if you don't have everything. Even if you don't have everything ready in place, please just apply, because you can do the documents at a later stage, but the group tasks and the mentor calls are limited in number. So better to just apply, get as much of the application done as possible, upload holder communications to the document section, and book into a group task. And we can do the documents on the other side right before the cohort starts, because we don't want to have you fully ready for the program, but applications close. Cool. Daria, will we study online or in the office? So this bootcamp is delivered online. It is online Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I think the next one has some info. Yeah, it's instructor-led, so it's live on Zoom. However, we do offer some additional practical supports. So if you need a laptop or Wi-Fi, we can share those with you. We've got some second-hand refurb laptops. We have some Wi-Fi dongles that you can plug in. And if you need, depending on where you live in the country, if you live close enough to a WeWork or some other co-working spaces, we can help you find a co-working space and help cover the cost of that. So if you didn't have somewhere in your home that is quiet or safe or appropriate for studying during the daytime, we can help with finding you some office space. But it's not like a live office with other classmates. It would be you plus your laptop still on the call, delivering as usual. Hey, Victor, how does one contact? Please, everything go to the inbox or the email that I sent. The email that I sent the reminder for this webinar from is my personal one. My first name dot my last name at generation.org. So if you just reply to the email where I told you about this Q&A session, that's another way to reach me. Or if you email the program inbox, there's a couple of people who received that email, so that you'll get an answer quicker that way. Yes, the answer to Ilaria, the answer to that is yes. So in Ireland, I'll pull up my map again. In each of the regions where we work, so in Ireland, and then the 4 places in the UK, and in Scotland, we have staff based in each of those regions whose role it is to communicate with employers about our bootcamps that are coming up, make sure employers understand how our bootcamps work, the benefits of hiring from us, and all of those good things. And this is kind of a quick overview of what that looks like. So when we tell employers about us, employers will tell us that they have X number of roles available that people can apply for, or roles that they've earmarked for generation graduates. And this is like an overview. So after you graduate, you'll have 6 months of contact with us. And this is called the placement phase, where we will help you find a role. And there are 2 ways you can find the role, either through ones that we source ourselves, so people in different areas around the UK and Ireland, finding jobs with employers close to you, or self-apply, where we've like upskilled you on how to use job boards or LinkedIn or other sources to find work with your expert CV and cover letter. And we'll have employability coach and placement manager contact with you as well to go through all of that. Cool. Hi. Yeah. Hey. Sorry if I say your name wrong. Asylum seeker. You'll get your work permit in July. Perfect. So if you, in this instance, I'm afraid that our eligibility criteria would say that you would need to have your work permit at the time of application. So it might be a good idea to wait until you get your work permit. Here, I see that you, perfect, yes. I think you and I might have emailed before. But yes, you will be, if you have your work permit by July and you're applying for the July bootcamp, then that is perfect. Cool. Sorry, I'm just looking for the slides about eligibility, which I may have skipped over. Cool. Jobahara, you ask about wasn't able to do the Python test until I supply the documents. Yes, this is true. The documents need to be uploaded before the Python test. If you don't have documents to share, please just upload a placeholder. So like upload a blank Word document or an empty photograph with like no info. Or just like write in a Word document, sorry, I can't upload for this reason. I won't have my document until this time. Just upload that. Once you've uploaded something to the portal, then it will let you move on to the next step. So if for whatever reason you don't have your documents available or you need to wait until a week or two later, please just upload something that tells us that, and then you'll be all right. Isaac, forward my application letter to you. So if you are, so to apply for this bootcamp, you apply on the online portal on our website. And I'm just going to pull this up. So I'm assuming, apologies to everybody in Ireland, I'm assuming that you are in the UK. So uk.generation.org. If you scroll down, you will see our courses, and you just choose the course and choose the location and then click on apply now on the page. If you're in Ireland, it's ireland.generation.org. Maya, upon completion, do we get a formal qualification as a DA that we can put on our CV? Good question. So you'll be able to put our certificate on your CV. And you'll get access to LinkedIn Learning, and that way you'll be able to do short courses via the LinkedIn platform to put badges on your CV on your LinkedIn profile, and we'll also put you forward to doing this exam here, the Power Platform Fundamental Exam, which proves you're qualified to use the Microsoft Power Apps. Want to know, for some reason I'm not selected, can I apply for the next program as well? Yes, you can, Anne. So if you weren't selected for this program for whatever reason, so it might be super popular or just whatever reason, you're not successful at this one, yes, we will tell you that you're not successful, and you can reply to that saying that you want to go for the next bootcamp that we run, either in data analytics or in a different subject, and that is perfectly fine. After the course, how do we get the job offers? So you'll all be in a Slack group, which is like a WhatsApp group, but professional. And the partnerships people will also be in there, and they will send messages with job opportunities that they have coming. And we will also help you with your own job search. So you'll have meetings with your employment coach and so on. You're unemployed, but should be able to get a letter from the center. Perfect. Will you be giving job references? Yes, we can. If you complete the course with us, yes, we will be able to be a referee for you for jobs that you're applying for. So quick overview again. Bootcamp starts on the 12th, which means that offers need to be out by the 26th of January. Which means that we are running a little bit short on time. Ying, you ask about the mentor call. Great question. We are a little bit, we are working on reviewing the hire views for the people that have done the group task. Ying, I know you did yours, I think just this morning. So once those have been reviewed, you'll be passed through to the next step in the application, and you also get an email saying that you've been passed through. So within the next week, you will hear back about that, and you will be able to book your mentor call. I'm just going to touch on eligibility super quick because a couple of people mentioned it, and then I might look at winding down the Q&A session. So any final questions, please drop them into the chat. So there are two things to, or two areas to upload your documents, and the documents will kind of prove two different things each. So one document will prove your right to work either in Ireland or in England, and this document should also prove your age. So in Ireland, we take people over the age of 18, and in the UK or in England, we take people over the age of 19. And then right to work is either a British or Irish passport if you are a British or Irish citizen. If you're a British or Irish citizen, then again, you can upload either a birth cert and a national insurance number, or a birth cert and a PPS number. If you are an EU citizen, you can upload an EU passport, and if you're in the UK, a share code or settled status. If you're in Ireland, you just need to upload your EU passport. If you are not an EU citizen, so if you come from somewhere else in the world, like Asia, Africa, Australia, America, you would need to, South America, you would need to upload a valid BRP or IRP and showing both sides of the card. So this proves that you have the right to work in the UK. So if on the UK, it'd say like right to work on your card, or in Ireland, that would be a stamp 1G or a stamp 4, 5, or 6. And that proves that you are allowed to work in the countries and that you are over the age of 18 or 19. The second document then is your proof of underemployment or unemployment and your address. So for that, you can upload a universal credit statement or a receipt from Intrio, a bank statement, and if you want to block bits out of your bank statement because you don't want to share certain personal info, that's okay. But the bank statement should just show that there's no regular like salary money coming in. If you've recently been working, then you can upload evidence like a 0 hours or fixed term contract or your P45. Cool. And then that proves that you are living in where you live in, so Ireland, where you are, or in the UK, proof of underemployment or unemployment, your right to work, and your age. Cool. So that is coming about at the end of the Q&A session. Thank you all very much for being here, as it's progressively gotten more and more dark outside. As always, if you have any particular questions about your application, so direct questions about your application, so if the portal has you stuck in a particular area, or if the if like you're not sure what the next step is, or if you feel like you've been in like a holding pattern for a while and you've not heard from us, please just send an email to the inbox and somebody will get back to you. And I'm just going to jump on two final questions in the chat, three final questions. So Victor, yes, if your BRP says not eligible for public funds, that's okay. I know a lot of BRPs say that for some reason. You are still eligible for this course. So you can still do this course even if your BRP says not eligible for public funds. And you say, when will the next DA program come up? If you give me a hot second, I will tell you when our next one is coming up in the UK and in Ireland. I just need to load the chart. And yeah, so you do need to be eligible at time of application. So one second, and I'll pull that up. And Timmy, is Generation a training organization or an employer? So we are a training organization. We are the ones who designed, so Generation Global and Generation UK and Ireland have designed this bootcamp in consultation with a bunch of employers, including Microsoft. But we're the training provider. We've designed the curriculum and we are delivering the content. We do also have, we are also an employer, like we do employ a good number of people, and some of our graduates have actually worked with sorry for my brain skipping a beat there. a couple of our graduates do work with us. One of our DA graduates was working as our data ops person there recently. So Anne, just to answer your question, looking at our draft plan for the year, so we've confirmed our plan for the first half of this year, and this is the only time that we are running data analytics in the first half of this year. Hopefully in the second half, we will have data analytics around October for the UK. So we'd love to see you then. Cool. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you all have a lovely evening. As always, if there's any personal questions about your application, please drop us a line on dataanalyticsprogram@generation.org, or you can email me directly at my first name my last name at generation.org. But you'll get a faster response, more than likely, from the Data Analytics Program inbox. Hope you have a good evening, stay warm, and I will chat to you soon.